All right, guys, what's going on? And I just want to make a video talk about Destiny. I know everyone's in the buzz right now because of the last update, June 9th, and Bungie dropped a big update, huge update. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people are making build craft videos or things to do and like whatnot. At least on my YouTube algorithm and what I see, and that's cool and all. But I kind of want to do something a little different. I kind of go back since it's the last update. I want to go back and make a tier list of expansions. Uh, I know a lot of people are kind of upset still about this being the final hurrah, and who knows, maybe Bungie slash Sony will boot it back up. But as of right now, to the news, at least for I know, there is no new content or no new updates about the game or the IP of Destiny being continuing. You know what I mean? So if this is the last hurrah, I might as well make a tier list video about of all the expansions. Now I won't include the seasonal content, all that stuff because I personally haven't played in every season, so I can't give my opinion on like if it was a good or bad season. And again, this is a tier list of my own making, of my own opinions and experience. You know what I'm saying? So my experience could be completely different than you. You know what I mean? So take it with a grain of salt. I would love some engagement from the comments saying like, "Oh, you guys remember that? Or what was your favorite expansion? Your favorite memories from that time?" You know what I mean? And I will talk about the base game as I do think that was a expansion of its own. The vanilla version of Destiny. So, well, let's get started. You know what I mean? And excuse the ads and stuff, bro. I'm not gonna pay a subscription for blocking ads and stuff. I'm sorry, I'm too broke for that shit. But we'll go back to the very beginning of Destiny. And I'll be honest, I did not play Vanilla Destiny, but I remember from homeboys and friends that told me, um, they told me it was, it was like C. You know what I mean? It wasn't crazy and stuff. Like it wasn't, you know, again, I never played the vanilla version of the original Destiny, so I don't know. But from I've been told and from friends and like what I kind of remember when I got told back in 2014, like you should pick up this game, bro. Da, da, da. You know, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was like middle of the pack. I started playing Dark Below, and personally, I'm gonna put in C as well. Now, hear me out. The reason why I put in C, because this is the time when I started playing. You know what I mean? I picked up Destiny with I think it was the PS4 days. It was like a deluxe, version of something like that. I feel like I remember buying it, and it came with Dark Below. And I was like, oh, Christmas deal. You know what I'm saying? Back when I was like 13, 14 years old, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy it. And I played Dark Below, and for what I remember, it was cool. Like I was getting into it. Not really. I come from a Call of Duty slash, GTA, like like games like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like crazy. I was just a Call of Duty fanboy. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it a bug. You know what I mean? Like I just played Call of Duty. That's all I cared about. All I really cared about. But when I got into Destiny, especially around the Dark Below, it was a whole new vibe, a whole new ball game. You know what I'm saying? And personally, I think Dark Below, although I think it was a cool expansion, but it wasn't like what blew me away about it personally. Because I don't know if y'all remember the raid requirement for this was that you either had a good rocket launcher so you could do good damage or destroy his shield or a Gallahorn. And it's so funny because the week before, I think the expansion dropped, he sold Gallahorn, or like the first like 2 weeks or some shit like that. I remember this kind of like not clearly, but I remember just being like right before the expansion, he dropped Gallahorn, and no one knew obviously how good that gun was gonna be. It's an exotic, if you guys don't remember the exotic Gallahorn, how good it was gonna be. And then Dark Below came out and Crota came out, and everyone, if you did not have Gallahorn, you were not getting in the lobby, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I remember my first raid. and Crota. It wasn't even Vault of Glass, which was in the base game. Crota was Crota. I remember going to Crota and I'm doing everything. I'm learning. Me and my homeboy, he got me into a raid group. And when we got to the final boss, one of my very first exotics, guys, was Dragon Breath. Not the Dragon Breath y'all know now, but the old OG Dragon Breath. If y'all remember that gun from the old days, from the original base game of Destiny, man, that gun was ass. But I thought it was cool. I remember pulling up to the raid in the final boss room and we were about to get into it. And he was like, "All right, guys, what kind of rocket launchers we have? We have a couple Gallahorns. Some had like Hunger Crota because they already cleared it before with cluster bombs." And I pulled up with my Dragon's Breath. I was like, "I got a Dragon's Breath, y'all." I've been booted out immediately. Immediate boot from Fire Team. And I was like, "What the hell?" He's like, "Yeah, we're not doing that. We'll find somebody else." And that was my first raid experience, which some might say was not a great raid experience, even though I went through the whole raid, going through it and all that, learning mechanics and all this shit. I mean, glitching the bridge or whatever. Or I think at the time we did the bridge mechanic normally, or I don't remember. Actually, no, we skipped it. I believe. Either way, it was fun. It was cool, but it didn't really blow me away. Now, personally, I believe this is House of Wolves. A tier. Now hear me out. Hear me out. I know a lot of people feel some type of way. A tier. What the heck? House of Wolves didn't even come with a raid. True. True. Did come with house, no raid or nothing. But you know what it did come out with? Trials of Osiris. And as y'all know, and as I've told y'all earlier, I come from a background of shooters. You know what I'm saying? I come from Call of Duty. You know what I mean? So you telling me, and I really love the PvP in the game at the time. You know what I'm saying? But Trial of Cyrus, the era of the exotic hawk moons of Thorn, Hawk, Hawkmoon, and Last Word of the hand cans, dude. Like it was insane. And I know a lot of people might not like that meta, and believe me, bro, the Thorn meta of like you get two headshots and you're basically dead because of the bleed proc or the poison proc. But I get it. But the core memories I had, man, it was fun. And Prince of Elders, bro, like I listen, man. Like I said, I didn't really have a good raid experience early on. You know what I mean? And I personally was just like, this is a lot more simpler. I just go through, trials. I just go through rooms, clear ways, and do whatever, whatnot, and then get to the final room and kill the boss. And like that was more of my playstyle. Now again, like this is early on. Think of like this is like 15 years old, or 16-year old, or 14, 15 years old me. So my brain wasn't fully developed. So like ooga booga brain type shit. Like simple was good for me. Something direct. And like especially if I could just shoot my gun. Cause I know it, bro. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I was a heater back then. I was a shooter. And you guys could choose to believe it or not, but I like to say I was above, PvP level type of player. You know what I'm saying? I was a PvP player at heart. So for me, House of Wolves has a core memory of just like, because I used to run the Hawk Moon, the last one, especially the last one. I was a hunter main when I first started this game, and man, we if anyone remembers the old days of hunter, like there was only one class you run that was Blink Arc, and man, like the memories I had is just like mostly PvP again memories, but I will put that A tier for me. Now the next expansion, Taking King, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. This is S tier. Listen, listen. Do y'all remember when House of Wolves dropped and we got no updates? And I know Destiny 2 players, like now, if you're new or like you just started playing Destiny 2, you don't know the drought, bro. You all thought you guys had content drought? No. Let me tell you something. I think it was a year or close to a year. I don't remember, but I felt like it was almost a year when House of Wolves dropped and we were getting one more expansion, but we didn't know when it was gonna drop just yet. So we just were trying to like figure it out. And there was nothing. No, man, there was sandbox changes, I guess, like here and there, like little updates, glitches or the loot cave and like wherever, you know what I'm saying? Like updates here and there, you know what I'm saying? But no new content. That means you were running Crota, House of Wolves, Vogue, and then like wherever like strikes or wherever. You know what I mean? There was no new content to Taken King dropped. And that was a drought. If y'all want to talk about a drought, that was the biggest drought, in my opinion, that we have ever had. To this day, I would say. But again, that's just me. You feel me? Now, Destiny Taken King, y'all. Destiny 2 take not Destiny 2, my bad. Destiny 1 Taken King. Let me tell y'all something. It is the reason I swapped to Titan. When I saw that subclass and we were getting a hammer, yo bro likes like store, you feel me? I love hammer type of things or melee type of things, you know what I mean? And we were finally getting away from being the bubble boys and or the fist of havoc, fist of panic, if y'all remember those days. We were finally getting a roaming super, you know what I'm saying? And we were broken, we were cool, it was a new thing, and hunters got a new. I was still a hunter main around this time, but I swapped to Titan, like mid, like I want to say mid expansion, because I was just like, the hunter's cool and all, but that Titan, man, you used to pop your super and survive a sniper headshot. You know what I'm saying? Because you get so much super armor from that. I mean, they nerfed that later and fixed that, but I was huge back then. I was a sniper. Again, this is the mind and perspective of a PvPer. I didn't really play much PvE other than the fact that I wanted to grind a gun to use that gun in PvP. You know what I mean? Like this is I would say close the House of Wolves slash Taken King was the golden era of PvP when everyone was playing, everyone was like, was locked in, everyone was using meta weapons, you know what I'm saying? Regardless how you guys feel about the balancing and the patches and stuff, like listen, bro, every game is gonna have this meta, it's imbalances and stuff. Like there's only so much like the devs could control about that, because us as players, we're gonna just abuse anything that give us that winning edge, whether that's in PvE or PvP. So this is my mindset. This was like probably the most balanced time that I felt like we were, because they just nerfed Thorn, I believe, but it gave rise to the the Warlock Solar Burn build. If y'all remember that, the self res shit, which is crazy to me. I forgot I sometimes forget that Warlocks has self res, which is the most brokenest thing. Imagine we had that here, Kurt. I'll get him myself, but it was such a cool time when this expansion dropped. I remember so many people that never heard Destiny, or maybe they heard of it but never like cared for it, started talking about it. Friends from school, even cousins sometimes. You know what I mean? Like it was such a great expansion. It brought us a new destination, the Dreadnought, a new raid that was actually like, it was hard, but it wasn't too hard to approach. You know what I mean? Except for that fuck ass Golgoroth. If y'all remember the original Golgoroth with his billion HP, because like the Golgoroth y'all know now is not the same Golgoroth. If anyone who played Golgoroth before his nerf, I salute you, because I didn't clear it. Because my fire team, when we did that raid, we did not have the high sustained damage to do that shit, because only a few of us were running what was it, the Black Hammer, or like the, well, now is the Whisper on Worms or something like that, Whisper or whatever, which is an exotic weapon now, but it was used to be a legendary weapon. Which there's so much like I could like unpack here, and as I'm talking about this, like I'm getting flashbacks of memories of like the olden days and stuff. You know what I mean? But I'm just trying to keep it focused on the Taken King. Golgoroth was a bitch. Not mechanically, I would say. Like he wasn't mechanically hard. He just has so much goddamn HP for no damn reason. But that was the fun part, you know what I mean? Because like if you cleared that during, I think it was like the first couple weeks, you clear that, you were like golden. Basically, if you kill Golgorath, that means you're clearing the damn raid. Because the boss wasn't like necessarily hard either. The final boss, Oryx, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm just thinking about it right now. But Take a King by far S tier. I think us as the Desi community could no doubtly say is S tier. Now, like I said, I'm gonna skip like seasonal stuff because I honestly don't remember it or I never played it because end of the day it's seasonal shit. But the expansions I remember because I know I played the shit out of the expansions. Almost every expansion Destiny has brought out. Rise of Iron. Bro, I'm gonna put in C tier as well. Now, hear me out. I know a lot of people might not like Rise of Iron because it felt like a cheap expansion. And to be fair, it was a cheap expansion. But keep in mind, I think around this time, Destiny 2 was announced, but it got delayed or something, or it got pushed back or something. And then we got this instead to kind of like fill in the gap between. And honestly, bro, the rate was pretty good. I think we can all agree. And then the exotic quest for what gave us Outbreak Prime was pretty good. Like now again, like this was towards the end of Destiny's life cycle. So again, Destiny at the time or Bungie at the time didn't really give us like a lot of content update. They kind of just dropped the expansion. It's like here, play it till you get bored of it or you're done with it. Then we'll work on the next thing. And that was kind of the formula back in the day. You know what I mean? And Rise of Iron was just kind of like the filler episode. And if you watch anime, like some filler episodes are just dumb and stupid, has no correlation to the story, and just like what's the point of it? But you know what? There were some filler episodes like we liked it. It was cool. You know what I mean? Like it was nice. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like game breaking or like story breaking. You know what I'm saying? But it was a nice filler to have in the moment till we wait to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? And for me, Rise of Iron wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. It was kind of middle of the pack, and not so bad. You feel me? And then we talk about Destiny 2. Base Destiny 2, I low key want to put an F. I low key want to put an F. And now hear me out. I'm gonna drink some water. Now hear me out. Uh, Talking strictly about base Destiny 2, it was ass. If y'all don't remember base Destiny 2, then you wouldn't understand. And what I mean this is that when Destiny 2 came out, they took out all random rolls. So every gun was more or less the same, or it was the same actually. The bet and again, I'm talking in the PvP mode type of like mentality. PvP was run by Bear Devils, Nightshade, with the sidearm, I think it was called Last Hope, and then I don't know, a random LMG or rocket. But there was no variety. There was no like different perks. It was all the same. As a base game, as understand this, guys. We played Destiny. This is like 3-4 years in the making. I want to say because Destiny 2 came out with like 2018, 2017 or something. This came out 2014. Base Destiny 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. We got all these expansions and a great run. I would say it had a good run. The base Destiny, the first Destiny game with the expansions, despite having its up and downs, like we all know. But overall, good run, especially with the Take a King. And then we got Destiny 2, and the base game was hot dookie, bro. Dookie. You know what I'm saying? The Red War and all that cool story. You know what? I feel like F is kind of it's kind of OD. There's worse ones I could think of. I'm looking right now, but D tier, at least D. There's no, it cannot go higher. It has to stay D. It was story wise, it was cool. Gameplay wise, PvP wise, everything all that. PvE, I would say it was dog water, like actually dog water. So, and I played it and I quit for a while because till they changed it later on. But oh my gosh, you know what? Let's just get over with. Not that. Ooh, if y'all can't see it, it says Corsair Sight and then the War Mine, I believe. Must I say more? Must I say more? Like I played the shit out of these expansions too. The fucking the forest or wherever the fuck, the lost forest, and then the war mine shit. Like now, if I were to like put it like in order, I guess I'll put war mine ahead of Cyrus. Let me do that. Let me put stuff in order. I will put Rise of Iron ahead of Destiny and Destiny ahead from. You know what? I'll put this like that. I'll put it like that. And yeah, let's do that. Warmind was better than Osiris, but it wasn't that much better. They were still both F tiers. Again, there was really no new updates. I mean, it came with. I mean, base Destiny 2 came with Callus, which I think I get maybe put in detail was actually a pretty cool raid, but I can't give it more. And then Curse of Osiris, it came with the Eater of Worlds, I believe. And then Warmind, I honestly don't remember what Warmind came with, to be honest. I generally don't remember. But I just remember like these two expansions I played like maybe 20 hours. I mean each expansion I play at least 20 hours. If I don't like the expansion, then I kind of just don't play it, or I play like once, maybe twice a week, but don't really like progress and I just wait. Yeah, these two were just horrible, horrible expansion. PvP wise was just bad. Destiny, oh my god. And then ah, then the king came. Then the king came. Forsaken was I would say Forsaken was like the Take It King, because like at this point, two expansions later, this is like within like 2018, 2019 to 2020, 2021, and COVID time and stuff. So like Forsaken, actually I don't remember when Forsaken came out. Let me do a fat check real quick because I don't want to sound dumb. But I remember Forsaken being like, oh my god, this expansion is sick. Like, when did like it single handedly saved the game? I if I remember correctly, release date. I'm looking at my phone. 2018. Interesting. I don't know my years, but I know I played the shit out of it. 2018 it came out apparently, but I remember Forsaken being like, oh my god, this expansion has a hit. Because after Destiny 2, the vanilla base game, shit the bed. Osiris and Warmind shit the bed as well. Forsaken was like the Taken King. And the reason I don't put it in S tier, I would say, is because they killed my boy K. And say what you want. Just say what you want. Say what you want. I love my boy Cade. And they did my boy Cade dirty in the storyline. The fact that he had to fucking die to save Destiny is poetic. I'm not gonna lie. It's actually really poetic. But I won't forgive you, Bungie, for killing my boy Cade. Cade 6. You know what I'm saying? I still hold that heart in me. You know what I'm saying? I'm still hearing that hurt in me in my heart. But Forsaken, good expansion. Loved it. Loved the story. Hate the enemy Scorn. Hate them. Still to this day, I hate the Scorn. But overall, good expansion. I'm kind of gonna speed this up because I'm taking too long. But Shadowkeep, I'm gonna put it in. Hmm. Honestly, I don't remember Shadowkeep. I really don't remember Shadowkeep. Shadowkey. It was just one of those expansions. I'm gonna put a D tier. It was just one of those expansions again, like that they kind of threw out, but it wasn't like at like Rise of Iron. You know what I mean? Like it was like a filler thing. Rise of Iron, I think, is better than Shadowkeep. I mean, it came with a dungeon, Scarlet Keep, and all that, but like there was no good weapons, no good like anything. Just not for me, y'all. Beyond Light. Oh my god. I think I'm about to put a B tier. I really don't want to put a B tier because I remember Beyond Light and the Stacy shit, which cool, new subclass, yada yada, wherever. But man, I hated PvP. I think at this point, PvP for me was just kind of like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point of playing? Because I remember Stacy was just running rampant, But like the stasis, I mean, stasis was broken in PvP, especially you goddamn hunters to this fucking day. But I feel like PvP was dead. Like Trial Osiris, I think they took it out in Beyond Light, or at least it was either Beyond Light or Shadowkey. They took out Trials or Osiris because just like one, nobody was playing, and two, if not, no one was playing. It was a bunch of cheaters, a bunch of like lag switchers, and just like bad balancing of like guns and classes, and like it felt like Beyond Light they abandoned PvP, and let's be honest, they have for a long time already, but we know why now. But man, it just felt bad. It just felt bad. Like it just I don't recall. Like again, I put at least 20 hours and never expect. I know I put more than 20 hours in Forsaken, but for the bad expansions, I truly put like maybe 20 hours into it, because if I don't enjoy it, why would I play it? You know what I'm saying? Witch Queen. Oh, I didn't mean to put F tier, guys. Don't worry. But S tier. Now, I have some gripes with some Witch Queen things. All right. Overall, I like the story. I like what we were doing. They revamped a lot of the systems. They brought us crafting, which I have a love and hate relationship with, because the crafting system is it's cool in theory, and like it's dope for people who, like, someone like me who doesn't play like hard PvE and like grind stuff like that. So it's nice to have, but like I think this was the beginning of greatness, but also its greatest downfall, where crafting became such an access point to just like not to grind for anything, or like anything of value just wasn't important. You know what I mean? Because like why grind for a gun where you could get the crafted version of it and basically get the god roll for it, and just it functions the same and doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like, but overall, as an expansion and even PvP wise, it was pretty good. I liked it. Now here we go. The story, bro. The Lightfall hype. The hype chain was insane to only be C tier. You know what I mean? Like Lightfall was. I think a lot of people like hate on Lightfall. Like I would say egregiously over so, but I understand why. The story was as the what was it, the raid of it was a joke. I think this is the Ruined Nightmares, I think, right? I want to say this is the Ruined Nightmares. I don't remember actually. I'm gonna look that up. But I just remember Lightfall just being such a joke, and I remember playing it, and I was like, the only cool thing that came out of it was just the subclass. Like literally, that's all I remember. But I could be wrong, and I'm trying to just remember. I'm doing a fact check. Yep, it was the Ruined Nightmares. There we go. Just like now again, PvP wise, it wasn't bad. At least what I remember. But again, it was a lot of cold finality. If you guys don't know what that is, it's basically what's it say? How do I say this? Cold finale basically was a shotgun, the exotic shotgun from the Ruined Nightmares, and it was running rampant in PvP, to say the least. You know what I mean? Sorry, I gotta charge my headphones. Production, what are you doing? But that was basically it. It wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't anything good. I mean, I'm kind of tempted to put a D tier, but like I didn't really have a bad experience with Lightfall, other than like the great disappointment, which I think all of Destiny 2 players could say like it was the greatest disappointing expansion in probably in a long time. You know what I mean? Because like Forsaken came out, Witch Queen to follow after Witch Queen was kind of hard. You know what I mean? Like the hype of Witch Queen for this game to be, or this expansion to be so hyped and then fail miserably was just kind of like, damn, that sucks. You know what I mean? But we'll move on. The final shape. Say what you want. Say what you want about the final shape. But I'm gonna put S tier. Listen. I've been playing Destiny a very long time, and although I'm not gonna say I'm like the day one Destiny player, but I'm gonna put myself, I was loyal. I came back when it was something new, something exciting. If it was ass, I wasn't playing it. You know, that's just me personally. You know, why am I gonna play something if I don't enjoy it? But the final shape was the wrap up of the whole thing, and it was so, like, how do I say it? It was kind of like the closing of everything of the Light and Darkness saga. The raid was cool. I never beat it. I never even attempted it because I I'm good off that, bro. The raids got more complicated over the time. The prismatic bit was cool. The destination was cool. PvP, it was dead. It's been dead for a long time. And like, I don't know. Final shape to me was kind of like, I'm gonna put Esther simply the fact that it was enjoyable for being a last expansion. And yes, I'm gonna say last expansion. It should have been last expansion because we're about to talk about the worst. I think personally, Edge of Fate is what killed this thing. Now you say what you want. Maybe you love Edge of Fate, you love the portal and shit. But I hate everything about Edge of Fate. Everything about Destiny and Edge of Fate, everything I love, I should say, about Destiny was not in Edge of Fate. Like I could tolerate a bad expansion. Like I could at least put 20 hours into a bad expansion. If it was a good expansion, you got me for hundreds of hours. You feel me? Forsaken. The S tiers I put hundreds of hours. In Taken King, Witch Queen, Final Shape. A tier I put again maybe like another 100 hours. Forsaken, this, Beyond Light I put like sub 60. Rise of Iron I put like sub 40, sub 50, sub 40, sub 50, you know what I'm saying? These I put like maybe 30, 40 hours, and I put like 20 hours into this shit. Like literally all I did was did the story, did like a couple of like Vanguard strikes, and that was it. That if I would, this is F tier to me. Like if I only do like the story and a couple of things here and there, and I don't touch it ever again, that's F tier to me. Edge of Fate was the worst expansion of Destiny history, and anyone who copes the fact that like it wasn't that bad, the game wasn't like, we didn't, they were trying to take a new direction. Shut up. You're wrong. I'm sorry. You're wrong. Personally, I think you're wrong. I think you could make an opinion and still be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I digress because I could hate on Age of Faith for days on end. But just I hated it. Now Renegades. After playing it, I'm gonna put A tier. It was it. You know what? Actually, I'll put B tier. I put it over Beyond Light. You know what I mean? I put it over Beyond Light. I put Forsaken over House of Wolves. This seems accurate. This seems accurate. And this is accurate. Renegades. It was cool. You know, I don't think it was bad, but I think it was better than most. You know what I mean? B tier to me is like it's better than most. This is great overall. This is great, and this is just like insane. This is great. A is like great, but S is like insanely good. And B is like it wasn't bad, but it was better than most, and it was like You know what I mean? D was again kind of like not great, but yeah, F tier just trash. Let's just keep it pushing, bro. Let's keep it pushing. And then Moments of Triumph, S tier. If I were to order S tier, I would put Tiki King, Moments of Triumph actually, and then like this. This will be my order. Moments of Triumph, although it's not expansion, but it is the last update, so I'm gonna count it as the expansion, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? Was everything Desi should, could, would been type of thing. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate that again, Bungie and Sony are no longer gonna be updating this, and no longer we're gonna see the full potential of like what Jesse can or could have been. But you know, for his last hoorah, I'm loving it, bro. I've been playing for a week now. Almost had like another 100 hours into it. You know what I'm saying? And again, like S tier for me is like other type of, you know, I want to say games, but like type of expansions where I put hundreds of hours and still like enjoy the game. You know what I mean? And that's what Moment Trials has done for me. Take a King has done for me. Witch Queen has done for me. The Final Shape has done for me. You know what I mean? It was like the last hurrah. And like again, I could try to do the seasons, but honestly, I wasn't here for every season or every update, so I can't tell you like my honest opinions, but I could tell you about each expansion because I played every expansion. I bought every expansion except the Renegades one, but I bought it when the Moment of Triumphs was coming. I bought it, I played it. I love the story actually. It was pretty cool. I love the whole Renegade system too. It's kind of cool, you know what I'm saying? Moments of Triumph again gave us a lot of freedom to do whatever kind we want, and overall, this is my tier list. This is what I think Destiny, why I think Destiny expansions were great and were some weren't great. F tier. I mean, honestly, Edge of Fate should go down here. It should go below F tier. It what killed the game. But I can hate on Edge of Fate forever. But like, this is. Tell me what you think. I know it's a long video. I know I was kind of yapping a lot, but I would love to see some comments, see some engagement. You agree with me, disagree with me? Give me your favorite moments from which expansion or which era of Destiny you played, and like happy day, bro. Just be positive. I know it's sad that the love we have for this game is gonna be gone, but it's never forgotten. Let that be a reminder. We as guardians, we're always gonna be connected with one another. But I hope to see y'all out there in the galaxy. All right, yeah. I hope to see y'all out there in the galaxy, and I hope everyone's having a nice day. Have a great day. Peace out.